I'm Rich Carroll. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. A teen is shot in Palm Coast over the weekend. It happened in the city's R section on Roxland Lane late Saturday night. Sheriff Rick Staley says a 17-year-old boy suffered a gunshot wound and was airlifted by Trauma 1 to the hospital.
There is no threat to the community. While we are still investigating this case, we believe it is an isolated incident.
Staley says anyone with information should email tips@flaglersheriff.com or call Crime Stoppers.
You could be eligible for reward up to $5,000.
The Flagler County Health Department issues an update on COVID-19 cases and continues to modify its vaccination efforts to reach working residents. Rich Peschke reports.
The department's Gretchen Smith says they're seeing improving case count numbers.
This past week, it's been a pretty good week. We're averaging 17 cases, and a couple weeks ago, we were averaging like 30 cases a day. We've got a positivity rate of around 5%. And we're seeing improvement in ER visits for flu-like and COVID-like illness.
Smith says they're working to get more people vaccinated.
We're at 50% of people over the age of 16 are vaccinated. And it goes up, in increments of, 5 years. And so if we've got 50% of the people over age 16 vaccinated, we've got 79% of the people over 65 vaccinated.
There's a vaccination clinic on Tuesday at Parkview Church and a drive-through clinic Wednesday and Thursday across from 120 Airport Road. At that clinic, there is no appointment necessary. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Peschke.
A man is arrested on aggravated assault and robbery charges. Amy Cherry has the story.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley tells us about two incidents that happened at the Econo Lodge Motel in Palm Coast.
One on Palm Coast Parkway, where the defendant opened a car door, frightening a senior citizen and stealing a phone and cigarettes, then went to the Econo Lodge and threatened another individual, including throwing a trash can lid and hitting the victim's car, breaking the mirror, then getting in their own car and trying to hit the man at the hotel.
No one was hurt in either incident. 41-year-old Christopher Holmes was arrested outside the Econo Lodge. He's being held without bond. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
A new apartment complex is coming to Palm Coast. Palm Coast City Council last week approved the site plan for Point Grand Apartments, which will consist of a 9-building, 300-unit apartment development on 35 acres just south of the Indian Trail Sports Complex. City Attorney Bill Reichman reminded council that if they rejected the application, they were doing so despite the developer meeting all of the legal requirements, and that could mean litigation down the road.
The substantial competent evidence supports a finding that this application has met the legal standard. And if it's this council's desire to deny this application, then I would ask specifically in that motion for the movement to cite to the record to support that motion to deny this application, so that your legal counsel, should the city be challenged, either an appeal on a Burt Harris claim, can look to the basis for this council's decision to deny that application.
The motion passed 3-2, but one of those opposed was Councilman Eddie Branchino, who made clear the high density that the development represented was not something he could support.
If I'm forced to vote because somebody's going to say, no, you got to vote, I don't want to. So my problem is a high density, populationally high density. There's no other problems. And I think I have the right to think like that. Legal or not, I think I have the right to think about that.
The project will sit amid 158 acres, most of which are wetlands that will not be developed. Like schools across the country, Flagler Schools are trying to get back to normal.
In this new normal, David Bossardet, the district safety specialist with Flagler Schools, said on a recent episode of Flagler Health Matters that it has not been perfect.
But I think the effort of everybody has been perfect. The maturity that our students have shown, the patience that our faculty and staff have shown, and the leadership, as well as our school administrators, really from top to bottom, has just been extraordinary.
Bossardet said that everything has to be put into perspective. You can listen to Flagler Health Matters every Saturday morning at 11:30 here on WNZF Radio. You can also listen to the podcast of the program at the Flagler Radio app. Tomorrow, Bossardet talks about what things were like just over a year ago. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.